Hello, welcome to day 8 of 25 Days of Drams, our Dram Team Advent giveaway and survey where we're trying to get your thoughts on what you would like to see in your ideal whisky Advent calendar, as well as giving you the chance to win all 25 drams in this calendar here, which my glamorous assistant slash guest presenter is holding up. So, some of you may know Greg Dillon, author and owner over at the GreatDrams blog. He's a founding member of the Dram Team along with myself and James Glenn. And I'm lucky enough to be with him up here in Poynton today in his whisky office. So there's a special reason that Greg's with us, and that's to help us out with day 8 of our Advent calendar. So without further ado, let's move on and have a look what's in there.
Absolutely. So if we just have a cheeky little look at day 8, you'll see it is, of course, the Ardmore 8-year-old that GreatDrams released a few months ago in collaboration with Douglas Laing. It was bottled at 46%, and it was originally done to celebrate the publication of the GreatDrams of Scotland, my first book. And here's what the full bottle looks like, in case you were wondering. And yeah, it was chosen from a number of samples that Douglas Laing sent down. And we went through loads of different cask finishes, distilleries, to settle on something that I truly fell in love with. And just for a point of archive, that's the last little bit from the cask sample that was sent down that we're keeping for a reference here in the office in case we ever need to have any flavour references in the future. Ardmore was actually the very first Scotch distillery I visited back in the day, and it was with the first whisky client I ever worked with. So it's got a very nice, warm place in my heart. But most importantly, shall we try it?
Yes, let's do that.
So pre-poured for ease. And yeah, it's. I'm curious to see what you get from it actually, Chris.
Well, I've already read Greg's tasting notes, so I'm cheating a little bit. From a Dram Team perspective, this was in our box earlier this year, in the summer, I think. I think it was in the Malt Odyssey box, which we had a dram of already in the calendar, or perhaps later in the calendar. I might be getting confused with my timelines. So Malt Odyssey was just an exploration of single malts from around the world, including a few scotches, one of which was Greg's very own Ardmore. And Ardmore stands out as a distillery because it's just outside Speyside in the Highlands. But it, I believe, as standard, is that true? That is it all of its spirit peated?
Pretty much, yeah. Varying degrees of peat over the years, but it's pretty much all peated, and it's the heart malt, so the kind of the bulk malt component for the Teacher's blended Scotch whisky.
Oh, okay.
And was originally owned by William Teacher back in the day. And it's a lovely part of the world, actually, as every distillery is. You've quite literally got a distillery with its warehouses, which have some immense casks of really fine juice just kind of chilling out in there, and then a train station right next to the distillery, which he put there in order to have the most perfect transport system and links for the barley to come in and the whiskey to go out.
Sounds like one to visit.
Aye.
So I am getting that smoke, but it's not, to me, it's not super dominant. It's sort of complementary, and there's a lot of sweetness.
That's it. On the nose for me, it's you don't really get that smoke. You
No.
get a ton of fruit notes. You get a slight kind of wisp of the dying embers of a bonfire, but nothing too smoky. And for me, the smoke actually develops as you move through the palate onto the finish.
Yeah, I'm getting very little smoke on the nose. It is just beautifully fruity and light and sweet.
Absolutely, and also for the palate, that's where I'm getting the smoke note just come up. It's kind of bubbling away, and then just kind of you almost breathe it out. There's a lovely little menthol note, a stunning honey note, and a bit of toasted pineapple in there as well.
Yeah, and creamy too.
Yeah,
very creamy. And I think you get the slight alcohol hit, which is probably from the. Did you say it was 46?
46.
So you notice that over 40, I would say, but after that, it's beautifully creamy
and it's actually quite soft. Once you get past, you get past that little bite, it is quite soft. And then for me, there's a beautiful white pepper spice on the finish as well, which lingers. It doesn't go away too soon, but it gradually dissipates over the kind of couple of minutes from when you sipped it.
Yeah, that is beautiful.
Cheers. It was originally 299 bottles.
Wow.
And we have currently, right now, on whatever day of December this is, the 5th, I think it is.
It's the 8th, Greg.
We currently have 10 bottles left,
Oh, wow.
and then it's gone. Done and dusted.
So you can actually pick that up. If you like the sound of that, then you can still pick that up on Greg's website over at GreatDrams.com. And you may, if you're lucky, win the sample from our calendar. We might even still have a few more Odyssey boxes being re-released in the new year, because we didn't put them all to production before. So that might be something you can, another way for you to try it in 2019 if you haven't had a chance yet.
Perfect.
Great. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Greg.
Oh, my absolute pleasure, sir.
To everyone who's been tuning in, we'll see you again soon for day 9. Thank you.